What's going on, guys? Welcome to Season 4 of my NHL 20 Detroit Red Wings Franchise Mode Series. If you missed last episode, we made a huge trade for Draisaitl, who actually led our team in points last year, 76 there and 82. The Devils, though, won the Stanley Cup. Taylor Hall still in the team, so that was a pretty big surprise. Now, we're at the 2022 draft. Obviously, we want to get one of the big three, Wright, Savoie, or Lambert. We did get Savoie last year on the Thrashers franchise, so I'd like to try and trade up, get Wright or Lambert. As you guys can see, quick look at the contract situation. Zadina needs a new contract, does not want an extension, but he's an RFA, so doesn't really have a choice. Giordano here does, but he's 38 years old, so it's definitely going to have to be the right price. Dadov also wants one, but he's 33. Zadina and Raymond kind of stole his spot in the top 6, so we'll see if we have room for him, especially since we're paying Manta there $7 million. Unfortunately, Fabry actually dropped to an 83, making $6 million. And he had a decent season last year, like 40 points. I don't know why he dropped that much. Sider might notice up to an 85, Lino up to an 83, so a lot of growth happening on this team. And Askarov here is up to an 85 overall, so good chance he'll actually be our starting goaltender next year, in which case we can actually try and trade Leonard. Really doesn't matter what we get back from. Obviously, anything helps. So honestly, the team is in a really good spot here. We'll get to the draft now, see what it costs to trade up to try and get Shane Wright. Alright guys, Edmonton's first overall pick isn't on the block. It can be pretty tough to trade for. Making them a big offer though. 16th and 29th in the first round, along with Lambos here. He was our first rounder last year. 65 overall D-man, medium elite potential. Now, a bunch of people in the comments said how he never really grows that much, so if that's the case, why not trade him while he still has value, especially if he gives us Shane Wright. So, value's on our side. We'll see what the Oilers say here. Trade accepted. Okay, I didn't think it would go through just because the pick was on the block. They were dropping down 15 spots, but the value was on our side quite a bit, so that's awesome. Obviously, we gave up a lot, though. We gave up a medium defenseman and then 2 first-rounders, but getting a franchise player in Wright. Lambert's pretty good too at high elite. I was thinking about trying to trade Carolina for him, but Shane Wright here on the Red Wings. 85 out of the draft. Are you kidding me? That's nuts. I think I boosted him to like a 60 as a 15-year-old with medium franchise. So if you guys don't know, he's putting up like a point per game right now in the OHL, which is pretty insane at his age. So I could honestly see him being that good at the draft. That's unreal. And as you can see there, Savoie comes out as an 83 medium franchise, only a couple overall below him. And then Lambert here, an 81 high elite. So that top 3 is just crazy. And our next pick here, guys, number 16 in the 3rd round. Just want to show you the rest of the first round here. 80 overall medium elite. I mean, the created players there are pretty good, but obviously can't compete with that top 3. Just crazy. The rest of the first draft, though, after like the top 5, pretty average there. Just kind of medium top 6 forwards, medium top 4 defensemen. Actually, a lot of like top 9s I see getting drafted. A bunch of guys in the 60s. And look at the available players. This Uriel Dominguez dude, 73rd ranked, so he's the highest guy ranked available. Low elite potential, 50-50. He's actually a gem, so I think we have to take him. There's actually another gem available too. Supposed to go around the 100 mark, so he's a guaranteed low elite. There's a chance this defenseman could even be medium. Hopefully our scouts hit on him here. Low top 4, okay, so not even low elite, but 62 overall, 3rd rounder. Not too bad. And right now, guys, we're trying to trade up in the 4th round, offering Nashville 112th overall and a 6th rounder for 97th. That way, they reject it. We can get the other gem there. Hopefully the 5th rounder. They should say yes. Wow, are you kidding me? Honestly, I'll give them 2 4th rounders. I don't know how they don't do this. There we go. So like I was saying, guys, the other pick here, you're going to take the gem, Hines. 55 overall, and he is a low elite, so not too bad. Also, guys, I want to show you this, in case it wasn't obvious. Shane Wright's trade value there is the max, tied with Draisaitl, so we are stacked down the middle. Honestly, I think I moved Draisaitl wing, just because he's only got 79 faceoffs there. He plays wing a lot with McDavid anyways. And then we have Larkin and Wright as our top 2 centers. Like, it's pretty insane. And right now, Minnesota's offering us a 6th and a 7th in this year's draft for our 5th. Honestly, I didn't see anything too crazy available, so we just picked up an extra, pick there. I feel like it's worth it. Just kind of take a 50-50 shot on a guy like Peterson. Could be low elite. Our scouts like him. Low top 6. 49 overall sucks, but potential-wise, that's pretty good. Now, Clinton Stillman here, ranked 300. 50-50 shot at being medium elite. I'm going to take it. Like, late in the draft, you got to take risks. Unfortunately, it does not pay off there. Medium bottom 6. So I think we have 2 7th rounders here. Hopefully, we can hit on one of them. 50-50 low top 6. Honestly, it's not even worth it. I'd rather just go for a guy that could be 6. So I think there's probably this goalie, ranked 800. Let's go with Finneganov, the second coming of Maxim Finneganov. Low top 9. It's not too terrible. So our next pick is going to be that goalie who's ranked 800, which seems, I don't even think there's 800 players in the draft, but I mean, there must be. So we'll hope for the best with him. Turikov, see what happens. Medium backup, so could be worse. And honestly, guys, I'm not too upset with the draft overall. The main thing we wanted was Shane Wright there, 1st overall. That is awesome. And before we get to the player re-sign phase, guys, we actually first have to re-sign some coaches. As you can see, our head coach and 2 assistant coaches both actually need new contracts. So I want to make sure our head coach is still doing well. Teaching specialist there, generalist, overall B. Overall morale neutral, staff chemistry 46%. It's not the best, under 50. Teaching B, we could definitely have better. Offense, power play, coach influence 8+ is really good. Honestly, I feel like it could be time for a fresh face. Obviously, a lot of young players on this team. Quick look here at the assistant coaches. Pretty good stats there for an assistant coach. And let's check the other guy, Howley here. His aren't quite as good. Really good power play though. Honestly, I think I only keep the associate coach. The other two were like pretty average. So this is pretty crazy, guys. We're now at the re-sign phase. As you can see at the bottom there, we actually have $31.5 million in cap space. And I was actually looking around. We only have 5 players on this team, or sorry, 6 if you count Advocator, making over $2 million. So that's why we have so much cap space. We just have so many young players on entry-level deals. They're just playing unreal right now. So Zadina needs a new contract. Obviously, we're going to make sure he gets paid, even though he doesn't want an extension. Also, if you look at the bottom left corner, the salary cap is now $93 million, so probably only like 3 years away from a $100 million salary cap. So Zadina here wants 8.6 for 6 years. Honestly, though, 88 overall, that's not even that bad. 6 years. We only need him for 7 more years. I'm fine with 6 years. We'll see if he does 8.5 for 6. Like, that's actually a pretty good contract. Obviously, usually when they come into the entry-level deal, that's kind of the best time to get them on a decent contract. Giordano here, $5 million for 1 year. It's pretty low risk because it's a 1 year deal. We could honestly use him, so I'll think about it. Shane Wright, first overall pick, 85 out of the draft. Honestly, that's probably realistic. Like, McDavid was probably like 87 out of the draft. Wright's supposed to be, not maybe McDavid, but, you know, he's supposed to be definitely upper tier. Dadanov here, let's see. $6 million for 4 years as a 33-year-old. Not really interested in that. Honestly, we might not need him, so I'm going to wait on him, just like Giordano. The rest of these guys all signed. Fabry needs to bounce back in rating. 83 overall, making $60 million. Otherwise, just going to trade him. Ernie there is one extension. Svechnikov, good fourth liner there, 25.80. $1 million for 1 year sounds perfect. Hiroshi here also needs a new deal. Another fourth liner, $1 million for 2 years. That will work too. So we'll have them playing with Rasmussen, who's actually dropped to 79, which kind of sucks, but like right there, that's our fourth line, so we're good. Totally forgot too, last episode someone decided to trade for Seth Jones' rights at the draft, which was actually a really good idea. Totally forgot to do it. Luckily though, I looked and he's still on Columbus, so I think he's still going to end up in free agency, and hopefully then we can sign him. I also noticed that Ovi could be a free agent if Washington doesn't sign him, so it could be pretty crazy summer. So right here, like, I don't know, N2678, Perry there, Turgeon's 2675. Honestly, at this point, probably let him go, and we'll keep just as like a good AHL player. Yeah, 750K for 2 years. And looking at Ernie here, honestly, I feel like we can let him go. He's not gonna make our third line, and we have Krebs coming up. Same with Kuffner, so I'm sure one of those guys can take his spot. Maybe even Smith. Now Dalcol here, I actually liked in the AHL, 750K for 2 years. Sounds good just to keep the AHL team competitive. And Myzak here needs a contract, 2067, medium top 6. I don't know why guys that like aren't really good prospects ask for the max. Doesn't make any sense to me. Low top 9, I feel like we can honestly just let that go. I'd rather just have the contract space. Now, Dadno, we said we're going to wait on. Hines there, same with Finnegan. I'm just not worth signing yet. And so looking at our defense here, we could sign Giordano. Thing is, if we bring in Seth Jones, we have like him and Slider top pair, Bean, Goldobin on the second pair, and then Hronek, Cholesky bottom pair. We're basically just wasting money on Giordano at that point. Plus, there's a chance he could keep dropping in rating, end up like an 84 or something. I think I'd rather just let him go to UFA, and if, you know, there's no other option, we can just still sign him out of UFA. Don't have to kind of commit to him right now, so I think that is the play. Now, Lindstrom here, 2375, medium top 6. We'll definitely give him a contract. He's a good AHL defenseman. Maybe ends up being like a bomb pair guy for us. And then looking at our goalies here, they're all locked up except for Bednar, who will sign just to be basically like a third goalie in the AHL. Medium star potential. Definitely don't want to let him go. And the rest of the guys are locked in. But like I was mentioning before, if Askarov grows, definitely going to have to try and trade Leonard. That way he just can be the starter, get more minutes. And here we go, guys. Hiroshi accepted our offer. That's awesome. And Rejected wants to go to free agency. Honestly, we're just going to be an AHL player for us anyways. Maybe NHL team. Maybe he could be like a fourth line center maybe he could be like a fourth line center on a different NHL team. Dalcol rejects, wants to go to free agency. That's fine. Same with Joe Hicketts. Kind of sucks. Svechnikov though accepts. There we go. Zanina rejects, wants to test free agency. You're an RFA, man. Like, we're getting you locked up. Lindstrom though accepts. Obviously Shane right there. Bednar, Myzak. So I don't know. The AHL guys are like 25, 26. Probably just let them go to free agency. Zadina though, like, I don't know why he's saying I mean, I guess the first thing we have to do is just qualify no matter what, so we don't lose them for free. And then, I mean, 88 overall. I'll give him 9 million. I definitely don't want to risk like some team offer sheeting him for 10 million or something. Now I just noticed Dalcall, N, and Hickett's are all still RFAs, so I'm just going to qualify all of them as, like I said, they're decent AHL players that could definitely help us win, hopefully, another Calder Cup. And again, Zadina rejects our contract. Are you kidding me? All right, guys, going to try making Zadina another contract offer here. It says he wants 6 years. Now, if we do less, he gets cheaper, but usually if you give them the years they want, that's better for you. So 9.5 for 6. Like, he's not getting 10 million as an 88 overall player. Also, too, I was trying to decide what to do with Dadonov. So if you look at forwards right now, overall-wise, say Draisaitl, Larkin, Zadina is our first line. Raymond, Mantha, Wright's the second. Skip Dadonov, you could have a third line of Bertuzzi, Fabry, and Velino, which is really solid. And then fourth line, Hiroshi, Svechnikov, and Rasmussen. That's supposed to be our fourth line. So Dadonov's honestly like an extra player in between second and third line. 33 years old, paying him $6 million for that role doesn't make a lot of sense. So even if we get Zadina for, say, 10 million, we have 20 million cap space to go all out on Seth Jones, potentially even Ovechkin as well. So we're sitting pretty good right now. And again, Zadina rejects our offer. I'm actually getting pissed. So at this point, guys, I'm thinking we'll just sim to free agency and sign Zadina that way, as we have 30 million in cap space, so we can literally match any offer sheet he gets. Obviously, we'd rather get him for a bit cheaper, but that's fine. As you can see here, we let go actually of our NHL head coach and assistant, so let's go get 2 new ones right now. And look at the head coaches here, guys. We can't even afford the top 2, as we only have about $3 million here for a head coach. Luckily, Ben in here, who can afford, actually has the best team fit at 74%. The other 2 there, 43, which is terrible, and then 59. As well, too, if we can't get Ben in here, there's actually a guy with 74% that's even cheaper than him. I don't know how to say his last name, but he's only like 900K, not quite as good, but does have a very good team fit. So our first kind of option here is going to be Benin. I'll give him $3 million there. Hopefully says yes. And looking at the assistant coaches, guys, I found this dude, Bychek, I think is how you say his name. He's basically a special team specialist. He's got A power play, A- penalty kill. Also, pretty good team fit there for an assistant coach at 68%. Bean, Goldman, Hronik, Sider, like all the defensemen really like kind of, I guess, what he does. So we'll usually give them like literally like 20K extra. I think most of the time the computer team just gives them what they want. So hopefully they'll all sign with us. And here we go, guys. We're now at free agency. I'm really hoping Seth Jones is there. If Ovechkin is there too, that would be crazy. Okay. Oh, no, he is. He wasn't at the top. Alex Ovechkin. If we could bring him in. He only wants 1 year. 94 overall. At 36 years old still. Like, that is insane. He had 44 goals last year. I can't believe he's leaving Washington. What's he have? 806 goals right now total. What's the goal record? So I just did a quick Google. Gretzky has the goal record with 894, which means Ovechkin's 88 behind. If he has 2 more years of 44 goals, he'll tie him 145, and he actually passes him. Hopefully he'll get, like, 2 more years playing. Chichu here, this dude, 20 years old, 90 overall defenseman, RFA. I don't know how you just don't sign this guy. 5 goals with 55 assists. He's actually from the Ukraine. Second overall pick by the Wild in that redo 2019 draft. You also have Klingberg there for anyone that like misses out on Seth Jones. Obviously Zadina, Kessel, Ristolainen even, 88. So same rating as Klingberg, but he's almost $2 million cheaper, and he's 2 years younger. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Malkin's there too. You could bring like him and Ovechkin to the same team. That'd be pretty sick. Unfortunately for Malkin though, we really only have room for Ovi, although that would be pretty sick. Zibanejad, Orensky, Palat, Dadonov obviously, Bufflin, Giordano, Honka. Like, this free agency class is absolutely stacked. So Seth Jones, 10.8 million. I mean, we can literally spend 10 million Seth Jones, 10 million Ovechkin, 10 million Zadina, and we're fine. So we're going to do it. We have to do it. Ovechkin playing with Draisaitl and, I don't know, Zadina or Raymond. I'm going to give him 10.5 for 1 year, basically giving him an extra million because I want Alex Ovechkin. Seth Jones, he's 27, 7 years till he's 34. 92 overall is elite. 10.8 is a lot. We were paying Pietrangelo, I think, 9.7. He is younger. Look at all the teams interested. Like, we could save, though, what is that? 4 million, go get Ristolainen. Same age, 4 overall lower. I feel like you gotta go for Jones, though. All right, I'm making a huge offer here on Seth Jones, 11.5 for 7 years. If we miss on him, hopefully at least one of Klingberg or Ristolainen is still available. And then Zadina here, still wants 7 years now, opposed to 6. That's actually better for us. And I'll offer him, I don't know, 9.2, which is less than our best offer, which is 9.5, and see what he says. And check this out, guys. For goalies, you have Marc-Andre Fleury available, 86 overall, still at 37 years old, as well as Thatcher Demko. So I guess Vancouver's still just rocking Markstrom. Or actually, they let Demko go in the expansion draft, so I think Seattle then, if they didn't trade him, is letting him go to free agency, which makes no sense. Medium elite still 86. He could definitely get up to like 87, 88 with a good season. Igor Shesterkin here also available. Never noticed either. His last name actually has 2 different spellings. Saros there, Koskinen. So some good backups. We decided to trade Leonard. Kind of honestly, like, has to be the best free agent class I've ever seen. Like, this is pretty insane. Potential-wise, just seeing if there's any young, good prospect goalies. I'm not really seeing any, though. Check skaters here, check two-way. Sometimes teams just don't want to re-sign guys. Obviously, we'll take advantage. RFAs, I mean, low top 6, low top 4. They're 20, they're 50s, but that's good potential. I feel like for free, we might as well go after him. Also, this guy here, Kababulin, I don't know if that's how you say his name. Second-round pick by the Panthers. 20 years old, 6'6" overall, medium top 9. That's honestly, like, not too bad. So, again, usually the RFAs, like, they always match, but a few decent UFAs there. And honestly, Senyshyn and Bray-Blay, like, we could make offers on both of them. Probably get matched, but if they don't, just a couple nice AHL players. And you know what, I'm actually going to hold off on one of them just in case we hit, like, the max contracts and that causes us to not get Ovechkin or something stupid. I'm sure he'll be available in a couple days. So, this should be nuts. If we can get the 2, like, Ovechkin and Jones, that'd just be insane. That coach rejected. Don't feel the quality of the roster matches the challenges. We're a championship roster. Probably just have to give him a bit more money. Not giving up a first-round pick for Kempny, that's for sure. Come on. Are you kidding me? Okay, we'll just give them both a bit more money, I guess. Pressburg here accepts our offer. I think he was a defenseman with low top 4. Kabulin there was the medium top 9, I believe. I wish it would show their rating potential on this screen. Come on, give us one of the big free agents. Senyshyn appreciates your offer. Okay, that's fine. We honestly didn't really need him. Still waiting to hear back from one of those big free agents. Are you kidding me? Let's go. Seth Jones is a Detroit Red Wing. $11.5 million is quite a bit, but I mean, he's our number 1 now for pretty much, like, you know, the next 7 years, the length of his contract. If we can get Ovechkin too, that would just be insane. Those Russians love Detroit, and there we go, Jones and Ovechkin. I mean, we did pay Ovechkin an extra $1 million, and Zadina as well accepts his offer. So that's what doesn't make any sense to me. I guess he tested free agency, saw that our 9.5 was actually more than good enough. It was worth the risk for him. He got $300K less than our best offer. So, yeah, we're pretty stacked. And I'm checking free agency right now, guys. It's a good thing we got Seth Jones, as both Klingberg and Ristolainen signed other teams, so we would kind of been screwed. I guess we probably would have brought back either Giordano or signed Bufflin, but definitely a big downgrade there if we didn't get Jones. So just looking at our team, guys, and check this out. Askarov is now 88 overall. It's not even the end of the summer yet, so definitely going to trade Leonard, not only to save the cap space, but also just, you know, make sure Askarov gets a ton of ice time. Now, I'm thinking Comrie as a backup probably isn't quite good enough, so I'm actually going to trade both Leonard and Comrie. Larson will be the AHL starter. Bednar will be the AHL backup. And Leonard here should be able to get a pretty good return. Comrie, probably, like, nothing really. We just want to make sure Larson's getting time in the AHL. So I'm thinking for Askarov, we want, like, a veteran backup, someone that's over 80 overall. Now, I actually already looked, and there's a pretty couple of good options here. Fleury, a bit too high rated, wants a bit too much money. Dubnyk, though, pretty good there, 82 overall. But Lundqvist here, 40 years old, 82 overall, still playing, hasn't retired yet. I was wondering why. Answer is, the Rangers actually haven't made the playoffs since 2016, 2017. So he's still holding out hope that, you know, he can get that Stanley Cup. I feel like our team has a very good shot at it. So basically here, I'm going to be doing him a favor. We're going to bring him in for 1.7. Try and get the King of Cup. So next year, guys, I'm trying to trade Robin Leonard, the Columbus Blue Jackets, for a first-round pick. They're a rebuilder, but they want Leonard. I was actually looking, them along with a bunch of other teams like Edmonton, Buffalo, they have, like, no goalie. Their starters, something like high 70s. They don't even have 4 goalies total. So I assume all these teams still plan on signing a bunch of goalies throughout the summer. They're just waiting for better deals or something. Leonard's actually got more value than the first, so even though it's on the block, they might say yes here. Trade rejected. Okay, so I mean, we'll try Edmonton. Same exact deal here. First round pick for Leonard. And they also rejected. Okay. Now, Edmonton's actually interested in a bunch more players than Columbus is, so I'm going to see if they'll actually take Fabry's contract off of us. He was playing really good, but down to 83 now, plus bringing in Ovi. Can afford to get rid of him. They'll still be under the cap there by about $1 million, so they get a starting goaltender, which they need. Fabry to help the top 6. Hopefully for them, this first rounder is not a lottery pick. We'll see what they say. Trades rejected. Honestly, I thought that was pretty decent. Like, the value was way on our side. I mean, Myzik there, Gunther. I don't really want to give up Krebs. I could honestly give them, though, Fabry and Myzik. Like, we're shedding $12 million in cap space and getting a first-round pick back. Like, it's not the worst deal ever. Alright, let's try this. I feel like they have to say yes. There we go. And because I know Columbus needs a goalie, we'll see if they'll give us 4th round pick here for Comrie. He's 80 overall. He'd actually be their starter. Trade rejected. It did look like the 4th actually had a bit more value, even though on the block they want Comrie. Let's try a 6th here. And there we go. And as you guys can see here, Lundqvist did accept our offer. Says the cash offer is most generous. I mean, we give him an extra 100K to join, which hopefully will be the Stanley Cup winning team. And as you can see there, we still have $12.5 million in cap space, which is kind of unreal. We could have bought out Applicator as well. I forgot to show you guys that. Would have saved about $2 or $3 million this season, but I figured we had $30 million. There was no reason. Might as well just hold on to him, bury him in the AHL, and then next year we'll have the full relief. So at this point, I think we're pretty good. Might look to maybe upgrade our defense a bit, but other than that, we're going to be a tough team to play. And right here, guys, you can see N finally accepted our qualifying offer, which is nice. Same goes for Dalcall. I mean, no one else gave him an offer, so it makes sense. And we just got to trade out from the Sharks. They want to give us Burns and a 4th for a 1st and a 3rd. Obviously, we got this offer before, said no to it. $8 million for 3 more years. He's an 86. Yeah, that's not worth it. So this is kind of crazy, guys. I wanted a top pair left-hand defenseman to play with Seth Jones, as Sider's our 2nd best, but he's right-handed, more of a 2nd pair guy right now. So I'm looking through the teams, and the Rangers have Brady Shea on the block, 88 overall, 28 years old, making $5.6 million, so a very good contract, good age. He's exactly what we're looking for. Him and Jones on the top pair, like, with the team we have, is going to be unstoppable. So I'm going to try and make this trade happen. Obviously, it can definitely include one of our defensemen. And you know what, guys? I'm thinking we're probably going to have to trade them Goldebane, who I don't really want to trade. 21 years old, 83 overall, medium elite potential, but this team's clearly in win-now mode. We might as well go for it here. So before we do this trade, I'll try something smaller. I'm thinking like McIsaac. We could even add Chalowski. We won't need him. And then one of the players they want, we'll do Grew there. I'd rather Gunther's probably the best. Bergen's got the lowest value. And then I'm not going to give up the Oilers pick in case they end up, doing bad to lottery pick. I'll do our 1st rounder. All that combined, it still looks to be a bit short. We'll try it though. Yeah, trade rejected. So we could do both 1st round picks. Honestly though, I'm thinking the move here is just trade them Goldman. That's how we're going to get the deal to go through. And then we'll add, I'm thinking Berggren, he's the worst. You can see he's lowest rated, or 67, but he's 22. So the other two should end up being better. So I feel like the Rangers have to say yes to this. Goldman, still a top 4 defenseman there, 21 years old, 83 overall, elite potential. Berggren, a solid forward prospect, medium top 6. Shea's on the block. Let's see what they say. Trade's accepted. So a lot to give up there, but honestly, this is one of the best teams I've ever had, especially only in the 4th year of the rebuild. Like, we are so stacked. And if you guys look on the left side there, we somehow still have $10 million in cap space, which is pretty insane. And speaking of cap space, I actually want to extend a couple guys right now during the summer, hopefully get them cheaper. Larkin here is a pending UFA, wants to sign with us though. I mean, he's the captain from, Michigan. Now, he only wants 1 year, $8.9 million. It's kind of crazy, 8 years at 15, that's way too much. We got to keep the captain, so 8.5 for 1 year. Then hopefully we'll get him signed long term, I guess, next year. Hopefully, again, he says yet to that. As well, Sider here, 85. Gonna be an RFA. 5 years, $5 million. He could be, honestly, 87, 88 by the end of this year. So I think 5x5 is actually a really good contract for him. And right here, guys, an assistant coach I tried to sign earlier accepted our offer. I actually gave him like an extra 50K or something. Also made another offer on that head coach I wanted. And he declines the fan base attitude. What? And right here, guys, Sider accepted our extension, which is awesome. Again, I think that's a very good deal for him. As well, Larkin accepted our offer, so got the captain signed for 1 more year. As well, guys, Joe Hickett's here finally accepted our qualifying offer, so that's nice. And I actually made an offer on a new head coach. He was the cheaper one that had the 74% team chemistry. And Boston just made a pretty big trade there for Brandon Saad, as well as Matt Martin. And this guy did accept the deal, so we got a new head coach there. Good team chemistry. Not as high, like, letter grades or whatever, but I think it's a good fit, and we have a pretty stacked team, so should be okay. Another pretty big trade just went down. Jordan Eberle, the Montreal Canadiens. He's actually 85 overall still, so Islanders get back a 1st-round pick. I guess they're probably in a rebuild now. And a quick update here, guys, on the captaincy. Larkin's still the C, Draisaitl wearing an A, and now Obi's wearing an A. I feel like how can we not give a letter to Ovechkin? We're at the start of the season now, guys, and this team is honestly so stacked. Like I was saying, this is one of the best teams I've ever had. Obviously, team status there is champion. I cannot wait to see just how good this team plays. First line there, all 90 plus. You have Ovechkin, Larkin, and Draisaitl. Larkin actually went up to a 90. Such a good two-way center now. He's got 93 speed, 95 excel. Look at his defense stats. 93 defensive awareness and face-offs. Like, just awesome. Second line is a young gun line, and it's stacked as well. Lucas Raymond, Shane Wright, and Philip Zadina. Like, Zadina's shots unreal. Wright's got 95 passing there. He's very fast. I also want to show you guys, too, his OHL stats here. Put up almost 100 points draft year as well as the year before that. And then, of course, Raymond just has sick hands. Good shot as well. Like, that second line's deadly. Third line, you got Mantha, Velino, Bertuzzi, so kind of like the homegrown Detroit talent. We got Hiroshi, Krebs, and Svechnikov on the fourth line. Krebs is actually a center now. I have to actually turn him to a center. 74 faceoffs, but 87 shot block, 94 stick check. Actually a really good two-way game. I noticed too, he's been tearing up the WHL. 112 points last year, so I really like that trade we made earlier for him. Defense, all +1. Shea Jones on the top pair is awesome. Sider Bean on the second pair. Again, Bean's hands are just 99 passing and puck control, ridiculous. 98 deking. Chlewski, Hronik, very, very solid bottom pair. Goalies, Askarel's now at 90. Lundqvist, unfortunately, actually went the other way, dropped 2 to an 80, but I'm hoping we can get him a cup. I think that'd be really cool. Special teams here, the first unit, I mean, I don't know how anyone stops that. Even the second unit there, like, just so stacked. 4-man power play there, very, very solid. Penalty kill, the first unit actually gets +5. Lino, Bertuzzi, Jones, and Shea, so hopefully they can just lock it down there. 3-man penalty kill, we're actually in zeros, which usually it's negative, so that's not too bad at all. Again, very, very happy with this team. AHL team as well, you can see Rasmussen's first line center. Hopefully he can make the NHL next year. We do have him signed, of course, for like next 7 years. The rest of the AHL team there is pretty solid. Advocator, 1 year left before we're finally done with that contract. Defense looking pretty good. McIsaac, I'm really hoping can grow. He's actually getting +3 right now, so playing like a 77. Hopefully he can be a high 70 end of this season. Larson's now the AHL starter. Bednar there, pretty low for a backup, but starter potential. Need to start getting him game time, otherwise he's just never going to grow. So looking at both teams there, guys, like I was saying, I mean, I think the NHL team, not only the playoff team, like we should be the favorites for the Stanley Cup. Take a look here at our ratings. Very honestly curious to see what these are. 99 offense, only 91 defense. I thought that'd be a bit higher, and then 88 goaltending. So yeah, we're pretty stacked. We'll start the sim here. See what happens. Start the December now, guys, with a 29-5-3 record, which is just insane. 61 points here at the end of the year. I mean, I don't even know if Detroit's going to get that many points at the end of the season in real life this year. So our team's pretty good. Check this out, guys. Danny DeKaiser, obviously former Red Wing here, getting traded from Vegas to Arizona for a second and a third, so a bit of a desert trade there. Another pretty big trade just went down. Pittsburgh trading Dumoulin for a first and third round pick. He's been on Penguins for like, what, 8 years now, probably in game, so pretty big, significant move there. And Pittsburgh makes another big trade. Chris Letang, who's only an 83 now with 2/3, for Jason Zucker, who was on our team a little bit ago, and John Moore. So pretty active trade deadline here. New York Rangers traded for Victor Rask, who's actually an 83 still, kind of surprised by that. As you guys can see, our record absolutely insane. The Canucks there, actually, I just noticed, what the? I've never seen this one. So Dallas then flips Letang for a third rounder, Rodin, Makinen. I've never seen a team flip a player before. And usually, like, when I do that, I get a cell phone call saying, you know, you're not supposed to do that. That's really interesting. I wonder if that was essentially a three-way trade. They literally flipped them the next day. That was pretty cool, honestly. I've never, like I said, noticed that before. So we have almost 90 points here at the deadline. We're looking pretty good. Vancouver just got Johansson. Okposo is only at 79 now. He's probably only got like 1 or 2 years left on his deal for a couple prospects in a second. They also get a third and fourth back. It looks like we make the Stanley Cup final. We're probably playing the Canucks. That team had like 80 points. Halliday to Boston for Brodin and a fourth. That's actually pretty much exact deal. You get a 83 for an 83 and a fourth for a fourth. So I'm not really sure what's going on with those two teams, but our team is stacked. Kasha and a third round pick to Vancouver. Seattle gets a couple prospects and a third. So Vancouver is stacking up. They've added Kasha. They've added Johansson, Okposo. Our team, though, like, I don't even know if I'm going to make a deadline trade because our team is honestly that stacked. Like 92 points. I'm waiting to see what the Canucks are at. Sam Moore into the Islanders there for a second. Canucks are at 89. So, I mean, they're pretty insane, but we're obviously better. Darnell Nurse to the Stars for Giordano. They signed out a free agency into Mesnikov. I don't really like that trade for the Oilers. Like, Nurse's same rating as Giordano, but younger. That seems a bit weird to me. I'm holding on McIsaac. He's one of our few young defensemen. So if we win the next 3, we're actually a win shy of 100. Actually, if we beat Philly on the deadline day, then we have 100 points on the deadline day, which is ridiculous. Predators there just fired their head coach. What is going on here? Dallas again flips a player. They flipped Chris Letang. Now they're flipping Darnell Nurse, along with Brock McGinn to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Andre Palat and John Moore. I think John Moore was involved in a trade too, so this is super strange. Dallas flips 2 players, as well Pittsburgh just traded away Letang and Dumoulin, and now they're getting back Darnell Nurse. I guess they needed a defenseman. So many trades going on. Severson and Beaulieu to Winnipeg. New Jersey gets a couple seconds. Appleton there. Travis Boyd, he's not going to make our team, so whatever. I follow 2/3 for a first rounder. I'm going to say no to that. And Nashville just traded Ryan Ellis and Austin Watson to the New York Rangers Robertson, Quinn, and Goudreau. Surprised they didn't get like a first-round pick back, but I'm guessing they're all like decent prospects. Keith Yandel, 70 potential. I don't even need to look at his rating. I'm not trading for him. So, a day before the deadline here, we have 96 points. Like, are you kidding me? The Canucks have 91. So, as insane as our team is, like the Canucks are just that good too. Larkin, 77 points right now, 51 assists. Just probably dishing it off to Ovi or Draisaitl. Like, Lightning, they're the next best team in the division at 78. The Metro, Hurricanes are the best at 74. I mean, the Atlantic is just so much better in every way. The Blues, 86, and Canucks, 91. Like, they're pretty much on our tail. Again, I don't know if we can really make a trade here. Like, it'll have to be the perfect situation because, like, look at this. Ovechkin, he did drop by 1, but still, I'm surprised actually right there didn't grow at all. Currently 37 points, 62 games. Usually franchise grows, like Lafreniere always grows during the season. Looking at our team here, like, maybe we can increase the bottom D pair a bit, maybe the fourth line, but I'm honestly happy with it. So looking through the trading block, guys, really not a lot available. As you can see here on San Jose, Malkin's an 81, so really glad we didn't sign him. Burns down to an 83, so I'm glad we never accepted one of those trades. Again, looking through all these teams, I wanted to probably defenseman more than anything. Not very many good ones available. Sonny Milano in Columbus. If we get him, basically Bertuzzi goes down to the fourth line for a +2 increase. It's like, it doesn't even seem worth it. Now, Barkov's available in Florida. Even though he's a 92, the amount of assets we'd have to get up to get him, I feel like it's not worth it. Like, our team is more than good enough to win the Stanley Cup right now. I feel like we just stay the course and hope the sim's good to us. And a huge trade just went down, guys. Another flip, too. Pittsburgh flipping Darnell Nurse and trading Dadonov, Hutton, and Lewis to Dallas for a first, Mackin, and a third. So Dallas, they've been so involved in trades. Like, it's kind of crazy. And we're now into the season here, guys, with a 57, 18, and 7 record. I was really hoping to hit 60 wins, but I'll take it. Obviously, a very, very good season. Finished there with 121 points. Larkin almost had 100 points. I mean, playing with Ovechkin and Draisaitl on your two wings, I feel like it's not too hard. I noticed, too, if you guys remember, the Stars making all those trades, they missed the playoffs. They had 83 points. Dadonov had 1 year left on his deal, I'm pretty sure. I thought he was a rental, so very strange. Maybe he wasn't. Blues, though, really good season, 117. Canucks, 112. So some really tough teams here. Luckily, most of them seem to be in the West, so hopefully we can at least make that Stanley Cup final. Draisaitl there, 97. Ovechkin, 96. So, yeah, that top line. It's a shame they all could have had a few more points. That way the entire first line would have been at 100. But what are you going to do? Zadina, 74. I mean, that is awesome. Definitely glad we got him locked up, too. 7 years there. Still expensive. Jones, 63 as a D-man. Raymond, 60. Bertuzzi, 58. Playing third line. So, yeah, definitely didn't need Milano. Shea, almost 50. Wright, 47, rookie year. Pretty good. He's actually up 1 to an 86. I'm surprised he only put up 47 playing on that second line with Raymond and Zadina. Even had second unit power play time. I'm hoping it's good enough for the Calder. I feel like it might not be, though. Goalies here, let's check Askarov's record. 44, 11, and 7. 4 shutouts. A .92 basically. And 2.39 goals against. That's really good. Lundqvist, stats aren't great, but a good record. Still an 82, which is nice to see. Let's check the AHL team here quick just to see if anyone's playing really well. Rasmussen, 72 points. That's pretty good. Again, hoping he's back in the NHL next year. This year, we just had, way too much depth, essentially. So we'll check the leading scorers here for the entire league. I feel like our top line's got to be on the first page. Wow, Larkin wins the Art Ross. Draisaitl finishes second in scoring. Ovi finishes third. I've never seen that. We had the top 3 scorers in the league all on our first line. I've seen like the top 2, and even then, usually like the second guy is third or fourth, but we had the top 3. No one hit 100 either, which is kind of insane because there's so many really good teams this year. I thought a bunch of players would have had a ton of points. Tell me Ovechkin, wow. Tarasenko, 54. Caulfield, 50. 87 overall. Look at that shot. 98 wrist shot accuracy. Not the greatest power, but dude's just an absolute sniper. Line A, 50. Still, though, Ovi, 48. That means he only has to get... He needed 44 the next 2 years to tie Gretzky, so if he gets 41 next year, he beats Gretzky's goal record. That'd be pretty sick. Also, guys, I want to take a quick look at the standings here. I'm pretty sure he won the President's Trophy. As you can see, we won the Eastern Conference. And yeah, we did win the President's. 4 points there on the Blues. 7 teams there, all at 100+ points. Like I was saying, some really good teams this year. Also, some pretty rough teams. I think at this point, you have teams pulling away from the pack. Other teams clearly rebuilding. Last in the league, Seattle. Wow, they haven't come out of the expansion yet. 55 points. That's a rough year. Nashville as well. Columbus. Some old expansion teams. Not looking too good. And in the first round of the playoffs, guys, we're up against the Philadelphia Flyers. I swear, if we don't beat them, I mean, look at this team. Like, it's a pretty clear-cut bubble team. Like, maybe they make the playoffs, maybe they don't. Tyson Barrie's now on defense. Cam York only a 78 at 22. That's kind of surprising. Goalies, Carter Hart's only 86. That's also really surprising. I'm pretty sure I left him in 84, so he mustn't have played very well the first few years, because if he does play well, he gets up to a 90 by, like, year 3. So this is year 4. That's honestly very surprising, but it definitely helps us out, because if Carter Hart's 90 plus, even with a bad Flyers team in front of him, he's, you know, they're still tough to beat. So yeah, if we don't beat them, something is wrong. Let's see what happens here. All right, tied it up. Draisaitl go off in the third. Bertuzzi, Draisaitl, Sider. So 4-1 win there. First game, of course, in Detroit. I'm hoping we can just sweep it, because I don't have to worry about something, you know, fluky happening here in round number 1. Second game here, we're actually down 1. Voracek, Couturier for them, right for us. Mantha, Voracek, we need 1 in the third. Barrie there. I think that's an empty netter, so lose 4-2. And we actually outshot them, it looked like 37 to 20, so almost double the shots. We got to come away with a win. Game 3 now in Philadelphia. 1-1 after 1. Ovechkin for us. Pitlick's still in the NHL. It's kind of surprising. Are you kidding me? Voracek, Couturier. We got to answer back. We're actually getting outshot now by 10. I think I jinxed it. And Giroux there. Okay. Down 2-1 now after 3. We have to tie the series up. I swear. If we lose 3 in a row. Like, I don't even know if we lost 3 in a row all season. 6-2 lost there game 3. Again, we just lost 3 games in a row. I'm checking if we lost... Like, if we lost 3 games in a row during the season, it happened once. That Flyers team, it's not even close to being as good a team as us. Not even close. We better do something here. Back Detroit game 5. Ovechkin, come on. Hronek, there we go. Draisaitl, Larkin, 4-0 win. 1 more here to tie it up. I can't believe that still. Game 6, obviously, all these next games, do or die, including the last one. Come on. There we go. Boys are alive. Bertuzzi, Larkin. Nothing in the second. There we go. Hronek again. Back-to-back shutouts. Askarov putting the team on his back right now. He's like, we are not losing in the first round. Come on, boys. All right. Game 7 in Detroit. We have to make it out of the first round. Like, come on. Here we go. First period. 2-2. Zdeno, Ovechkin, JVR, Brink. Are you kidding me? We have to answer back here in the third. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. That's just a joke. Also, guys, just checked the AHL team, and they lost in the first round 3-1. I'm pretty sure they had a pretty good team as well. Yep, AHL team had 113 points. They won the conference and finished second there in the league. Bridgeport Sound Tiger is just insane. 132 points, but still, like, both teams win their conferences and their first round exits, and our NHL team, like, couldn't be more stacked. I just don't know. Also, guys, Draisaitl here at 8 points in 7 games, so he definitely did his part. We'll sim to the end of playoffs now. I'm honestly just so rattled. The draft results are in, guys. The Pittsburgh Penguins picking first overall. Maybe they'll get the next Crosby. Feel bad for Seattle. They get last by a lot, and they drop all the way to 4. Same with Nashville. Like, those two were the worst teams by far, and they both, you know, dropped 3 spots there in the draft. So, a weird year. All of you retired players. I'm not sure if you guys saw the Cup winner. It was actually Colorado. I think the 2 best teams in the West were like St. Louis and Vancouver. So Colorado pulls it off. Perry, Krejci, Koivu, Brent Burns, Keith. So a lot of actually like kind of big names. James Neal ended up being in the AHL. He was like an 84, I swear, 2 years ago. Letang retires after getting traded a couple times. Filipula, Ryan, Zajac, Brassard, Franz Nielsen, Bouwmeester. Bouwmeester is just retiring now. 1,400 games played. That's ridiculous. A lot of big names. Does Lundqvist retire? Calls it quits? He doesn't, so he's holding on. Maybe we take him back, even if he's like a 78, 79. Try and get him that cup. Jimmy Howard, though, retires. Same with Corey Schneider. What do you end up being? 71. That's rough. Howard was still 79. Again, like I was saying, some like regular NHLers obviously are veterans now, but still everyday NHLers starting to retire at this point. Jay Bouwmeester there and Brent Burns become coaches. Okay, I think we got to get Brent Burns as a coach because he would look so awesome with the beard and everything, the missing tooth, like on the bench. That's okay. I definitely have to hire him. I'm not sure what kind of coach he's going to be, but we're hiring Brent Burns. So Like I mentioned, Colorado Avalanche there win the Stanley Cup. I'll quickly here show you guys the playoff tree. So who do they go through? Some tough teams. Blackhawks in 5, Blues in 7. Blues were the second best team in the league. Arizona actually beat the Canucks, so they also had a first round exit like us. At least we went to 7. They actually got beaten 5. Then the Avs beat the Ducks there in 7, and then the Leafs in 5. So that's kind of cool. I wonder if Kadri's still in the Avs. That'd be kind of crazy, him winning the Cup against Toronto. And Toronto actually swept the Flyers after we lost them in 7. So that's just like embarrassing for us, honestly. So NHL awards, we know the team awards there. We won the President's Trophy, unfortunately. Doesn't mean anything. I want the Stanley Cup. Larkin winning the Art Ross is awesome. I don't think I've ever seen that. But like I said, Draisaitl won it back-to-back years, 2 and 3 years ago. On one wing, Ovechkin, who also has however many Maurice Shards on the other wing. Larkin gets the Hart too. So just a huge year for him. Luckily, we extended him already because I could see him going up in rating. Unfortunately, it was only 1 year. Maybe that's why I was asking for $15 million for 8. Makar, back-to-back James Norris. He's the new Lidstrom, I guess. Aho, Lady Bing. Rossi there with the Calder. So it took him a couple years, but makes an impact in his first year in the NHL. McKinnon, Conn Smythe. Askarov with the Vezina. Let's go. Riddick, though, William Jennings. Soderstrom there, Bill Masterton. Hamill, the Vegas coach, is the Jack Adams. Barkov with the Selke. Larkin also got the Ted Lindsay. I love that, a Red Wing player getting the Ted Lindsay. Tarasenko, Maurice Richard, like I was saying. Would have liked Ovi to get it, but still, he had 48 goals. Like, he's on pace to beat Gretzky's record. We're not going to complain. That's, like, Larkin I don't think I've ever seen win the Art Ross, let alone Art Ross, Hart, and the Ted Lindsay. Like, that's just so cool. Ontario Reign there won the Calder Cup, like I was mentioning. We were the Western Conference champions, also won our division, but just no playoff success for this team. Mickelrath, some creative player, most points. Harlock, MVP. Amarov, most goals. Suzuki, outstanding rookie. How is Suzuki only now rookie in the AHL? That should have been like 2 years ago. Must have just been playing in junior for a long time. Mickelrath, best defenseman. Wait a minute. A defenseman had the most points? Oh, that's kind of insane. I gotta go check him out. Jake Allen, best goalie. We have a line in there. MVP of the playoffs. Derek Ryan, sportsmanship. Cheeseholm there, back-to-back years, community involvement. That's interesting. And then Malcolm Subban there, lowest goals against. Also want to show you guys our contracts quick. So Seth Jones there, still 92. Shea's actually dropped to an 86. I don't know why. He actually had a good season, like 48 points, drops in rating, makes no sense. Jake Bean though up to an 85, that's awesome. Unfortunately, he's going to want to raise. I think we should have enough money for everybody. Draisaitl is actually up to a 94 now. $8.5 million is a great deal for him. Ovechkin only dropped by 1, wants an extension. Obviously, we're going to keep him. Larkin's up to a 92, so again, I think the $8.5 million was actually a good deal. Raymond's now at 89. Hopefully, maybe next year is our year. I think we can pretty much bring back the entire team. And maybe, second time's the charm, because, I don't know, like, some fluke there. We lose the Flyers first round. I still can't get over that. Hopefully, 2024 is our year to win the Cup. You guys will find out next episode. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.